Yo, it's Crow, and sometimes you just want to put your like head through a wall, and that's kind of how I feel about this Ironheart series, and I'm just like, of all the characters, I mean, Ironheart is probably just the most what the fuck are you thinking kind of choices. It actually really annoys me, right? Every single time, actually, I think I'll probably tweet about this. But you always hear them bring up, Kamala Khan, the first Muslim superhero for Marvel, and I'm like, that's actually completely incorrect. The fact of the matter is, the first openly Muslim hero in Marvel, right, is Dust. She was created 2002, 2003. Like right after 9/11, when the nation was still reeling from that, and pretty much every depiction of a Muslim was as like a jihadi terrorist. You had Ethan Van Sciver, white supremacist, come out and actually depict a Muslim girl, right? Not hyperbolic, not disrespectful in any way, shape, or form. And that character is essentially just wiped out of history by Marvel, because there's no way you can ever acknowledge that the evil white supremacist Ethan Van Sciver is actually the first individual right after 9/11 to create a Muslim superhero, right? But you will never see that hero get any acknowledgement from Marvel whatsoever, because they hate that man's guts, they hate his politics, and therefore actual Muslim representation, just cut it out. But then you get the fucking TV shows and shit, then you get the fucking movies and shit, right? And it's like, it's trash and it's garbage, and the only reason why they are selecting these characters is quite literally to fill some diversity quota, right? Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan is not a popular character by any stretch of the imagination. They literally start a book with her, it gets to like issue 10 or maybe 14 and gets canceled, and they just launch a new book, number one, try to get like some sales off of the new release of the brand new Miss Marvel book, only for the series to get canceled in 6 months to a year. I've just never seen something that's just like so apparent that people don't fucking want it. And that's where Marvel is currently pulling all of their TV shows and movies from, right? Like it's actually insane. And we have these like screenshots from the movie and all. And like, I know this character, that's supposed to be the Hood. And yeah, it looks like shit, right? I forget his name. It's like Parker Robbins or Parker Andrews or something. But like, first off, his get up here is just way too fucking clean, right? Go look up the character and you tell me if this looks like the gritty Hood guy. Like I just saw that, I was like, no, absolutely not. Then there's this, and I don't know if I really don't think this is supposed to be the Ironheart armor for the movie or the TV show or whatever. But yeah, it looks stupid. The thing is, and if I recall correctly, Ironheart's origin is her first Iron Man suit is literally cobbled together junk. And my only problem is I could kind of see this being like her first armor, except for the fact that it's way too fucking clean, right? Like, this is supposed to be like a high schooler who can't afford any of this shit, right? So like she hobbles it together with old scraps and junk. And honestly, had you done that, I would have been like, oh, actually, that kind of looks cool, because I kind of like that mech design type of shit, right? I really do. But no, of course we're not going to get that. Like, this looks cheap. It just looks cheap. I'm not going to lie. It looks fucking cheap. It looks like crap. And I would imagine it's probably like an early, like super early armor, but at the same time, it looks too good to be an early armor. So it's like, what the fuck? Oh god, maybe I'm just nitpicking there. Anyways, I mean that's not the main thing that you probably tuned into this video for. It's this whole thing, right? How can you be non-binary and transgender? I just there, yeah, Lofty said it too, man. I can't actually understand it, right? You actually cannot be transgender and non-binary. Transgender means you literally it's about, you know, body dysmorphia. You identify as the opposite sex. It's literally still in the fucking binary. And then you get this non-binary shit, which, like, let's be honest, that really doesn't make sense. But I mean, this idea that someone who's non-binary suffers from body dysmorphia, and the same thing that, like, I'm just like, I'm thinking about this way too fucking much, right? I'm trying to make sense of their absolute fucking bullshit at this point. I mean, that's what I'm basically trying to do. It's like, we hired the first transgender and non-binary person to be in an important role on the Marvel. And I'm like, God, my fucking God. Ironheart isn't a popular fucking character. Give me a reason to actually tune into this show. Like an actual reason. And then it's like, did you know? Did you know, by the way? Did you know, by the way? Oh man, like it's hilarious to me because I think Marvel in probably, like, I don't even know. I honestly don't know. I think Marvel in like another 10 years, maybe sooner than that, will start to realize just how fucking bad these ideas were. Kind of like how DC is realizing that, right? You have DC the Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav coming through and being like, no, just get rid of it. We're just going to start over. And it's like Marvel, fortunately for them and unfortunately for everybody else, has the money to keep pumping out absolute trash. Plus they have the Disney money on top of that. And they can just ride out their previous successes, whereas DC can't afford to do any of that. Right? DC doesn't have previous successes to just rest on those laurels, right? They actually need to produce something people actually want to go see so they can generate some fucking money. Marvel doesn't need to worry about any of that because they have the entire MCU, you know, up until Endgame to just draw on, and the Spider-Man movie, But this shit, I'm just like, I even pulled up the article. Like, I mean, I guess I have to, right? You tune into the video, so I guess that would be, like, important. But yeah, there we go. Marvel cast Disney Plus's first transgender MCU actor. I'm like, bullshit. You can't be trans and non-binary. I'm going to get into an argument with somebody from, like, the LGBTQIA plus community with, like, all the Ukrainian flags and the pride flags and everything, telling me, no, you're wrong. Actually, you're wrong. And it's like, dude, you want to bastardize these things, like, you go for it. But then I have every right to stop respecting it on every fucking level if you want to play these fucking games.